Okay, so we're live.
Cool.
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Edward Daniel and welcome to EthiVegan. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Lia. Lia is the presenter of Rawfest 2016. Welcome Lia, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Now then, you are doing Rawfest this year. This is your 5th or 6th year, isn't it?
5th year.
5th year, that's pretty amazing. So you've got a lot of experience, haven't you?
Yes.
Doing festivals.
A lot now.
And how did you get into doing Rawfest? What happened?
It was kind of a little bit of an accident, really.
Really?
I started off doing the whole raw journey. I was really ill, I was massively overweight, I was almost in a wheelchair. And I decided to go raw. I was already vegan, but a bit of a junk food vegan. And I just completely turned my life around. So within 7 months of being raw, I completely cured myself and I was like, right, I need to show other people. So
what does actually raw mean? What does it mean to you? What does it mean generally?
it means basically having like lots of fresh living foods. So you can still, a lot of things can be vegan, but still quite unhealthy. So it's a combination of being, I'm still vegan, but I'm also very health conscious as well, of making sure the food is really rich in nutrients is the main thing.
Now, in terms of health and nutrients, does food change as it's cooked? I mean, in terms of enzymes, what happens to food?
So basically above 42 degrees, you start losing nutrients, you start losing enzymes. So if you cook food too much, you end up losing everything. And also nowadays, like the food has changed so much. So in the last 50 years, food is now about half the amount of nutrients in it that it did 50 years ago. So if you then cook it on top of it, you're actually eating nutrients with food with no nutrients in it. So that's why it's important to have as much fresh stuff as possible.
Now, in terms of your lifestyle, you're pretty spiritual as well. You do yoga and you do meditation, and you actually had a healing retreat, didn't you?
Yep,
so
I did.
Tell me about your journey into veganism. Was it through animal rights, spirituality, health, or environment? What was it, a combination of all of those?
It was a combination. So I first went into it kind of like half health reasons and then half ethical reasons as well. I actually grew up on a poultry farm. And I actually used to do the turkeys for Christmas and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of grew up in this world of like everything's organic and free range, and the turkeys are outside frolicking around. I think my parents, if they got meat from other places, it was like reared on this beautiful cliff and this beach, and it was killed nicely. So I just kind of grew up in this bubble. And then went through my teenage years. I went to McDonald's and did a whole binge, and then I was like realizing, hang on a minute, this isn't working, and I don't like this whole ethical stuff. And I watched a video, and I was starting to go vegetarian anyway. And I watched a video of Viva. And I was like, well, I'm going vegetarian, I have to go vegan because it's exactly the same thing. I just can't stand this cruelty. So I instantly went, that was about 10 years ago now. So I've been vegan for 10 years.
Wow, that's a long journey. Now, tell us more about Rawfest 2016. What have you got to offer?
It's really
it's going to entice the audience out there.
So basically it's a 3-day festival. It's only raw food, vegan food. There is a little bit of cooked food because we don't expect you to go raw overnight and go into a big detox, but it's all healthy, it's all organic, there's lots of wild food as well, lots of juices and smoothies, and no alcohol, no drugs, no junk food, that's our policy. And there's loads of experts. We've got experts coming from all over the world to do expert talks, live demonstrations, we've got yoga every day, we've also got music as well, so you can enjoy the kind of music and things of a normal festival, but you have all the added stuff. And it's like a safe space so you can come and just know that everything that you eat and drink is really healthy and good for you, and it's also incredibly spiritual. So there's lots of yoga, lots of meditation. There's actually quite a few talks on consciousness as well and how it changes our body and our vibration. You're obviously going to give a talk about vibration, which is great. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically I just wanted to create this thing where people can come and have a safe space, because I used to love festivals, but the food was just terrible and it was just full of alcohol and it's not very nice energy quite often, but you enjoyed the music and the vibe. So it's like, what do you do? So I was like, how amazing would it be to have something? And I'd heard like, wow, there's other raw food, you know, in the world. There was one in Sweden I'd heard about, and I was like, there's nothing like this in the UK, there needs to be one. So I just kind of thought, how can that be? I'll set one up.
Well, it's brilliant, it's so amazing. So thank you, Lia, for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Goodbye. Bye.